Genesis 1:26. Then God said, "Let us make men in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." Bless the Lord. I'm here to address or rather to share in a very small subject that we used to do, I mean, years back, and I just felt the need to share it. My focus will be, let us make man in our likeness and in our image, right? Okay, here's the thing. We must know that this scripture, let us make man in our image and in our likeness, is not completed here. Very important, I'm going to say that again. It is not completed here. This is the same man, one. This is the same man, one, like one, united, that Christ is coming to fetch. This is the same man who is um, 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 called the bride. Okay, this is the same one man who is spotless and semi-perfect, um, a a template, a replica of the very image of the Christ. Okay, now, or rather, the very person of the Christ. Now, because you got that part, yeah, but I'm not gonna say much on it because I know that I'm gonna do a recording very soon that is titled um, "The Likeness of Our God is Not Made with Dust." That one is coming very soon. Stay tuned for it. Anyway, um, so now when you understand that the the likeness, or the scripture rather, is not completed here, then we're gonna move on to the point of this text, really, and the heart that it builds in a believer. We're gonna try and read it again. It says, "Then God said, let us make men." Obviously, um, the Hebrew text, the word used for men there, or men, man, is both male and female. Okay, so whenever we are addressing spiritual matters, there's no gender usually. Okay, there's no gender. There's no gender. We are more spirit than we are um, carnal. Carnal is a distinction. Um, in our carnal, or rather social relation, we have to create that distinction, male and female. However, um, in a spiritual sense, we don't do that. We don't do that. Okay, for all will be um, like angels, spirit, neither male nor female. Okay, remember that. Okay, so this is where we are. Um, And then God said, let us make man in our image. That's where I stop. Right. If you are made, or we are made, man, human, is made in the very image of God, then to know, or rather to discover a man, to understand, to perceive fully what a man is, you would have to study deeply, intensely, who and what God is. Okay, because that discovery, in that study, that is where you um, will gradually grow and mature in the knowledge of knowing your God or your Father. However, don't sideline the truth of Uguti. That study, or rather that information concerning him, is the very information or truth and reality concerning you. Okay, so if you don't know yourself, of which we do not know ourselves, we can never fully say we know ourselves because we do not know God. So if ever the only way to discover a man, it is for a man to immerse himself, to deeply study his source, and then from knowing his source, or rather all the little information that he can gather or extract from his source, is the revelation that person can have of himself. So I am encouraging the study of man, self-discovery through the study of God. Oh, I hope you're getting this. So we study God, we go into God to discover ourselves, and we go into ourselves to extract God, because all that is in God is in us, and all that is in us is in God Himself. Okay, so we need to have that sense of being real concerning us. Ukuthi, we are not from ourselves, we are a people from God. We have a source. There is an Abba for men, and the Abba is our God. So whenever we are busy with self-discovery, whenever we're busy with self-discovery, it is not spending time with yourself, it is spending time with the Lord. It is not spending time in your mind, it is spending your time in scripture. It is not spending time in counseling and so on and so forth. I'm not against counseling. I do counseling sessions myself. However, I want you to understand that whenever we are studying God, whenever we're going through scripture, scripture has everything concerning Christ. It is 100% Christ. However, I want you to know that the same scripture that is 100% Christ is 100% you. Yes, you are that scripture. You are that, like, that scripture is the volume of you. You got that? That scripture is the volume of who you are. And I don't want you to think any less of yourself, because the volume of scripture is who and what you come as. You are scripture. You are spirit. You are who he is. John says, as he is in this world, so are we. As he is in this world, so are we. So the exact person of God is the exact person of us. So it is not just the general knowledge of that, because I know a lot of people know what I'm saying, but they do not study what I'm saying. As a result, they do not become. We do not have a problem of revelation being downloaded into people's minds. However, we do have a shortage of people who are in obedience of the word and are becoming this person who the word says we are, because the word has to become flesh. The word becomes flesh and then dwells amongst us, lives amongst us. That is the point of scripture. Otherwise, scripture is useless if it is just general knowledge in your mind. However, I want you to know that scripture is you, so become yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself without a doubt in your heart, without a doubt in your mind that you are word. You are word, and you are made in the very image of your Father. You are 100% spirit, and you are 100% flesh.